What's up? What's up? Welcome back to another episode of the 49 Show. The 49 Show. The 49 Show. And today I want to talk about just a few interesting things that has happened over the past few days with the 49ers news. It's been kind of, dry lately with the news since the NFL draft. We know all the players we got. We know about Trent Williams and, the trade that we made during the draft. But with all that being said, there was a quick report about Trent Williams. Our new left tackle was replacing Joe Staley. Trent Williams and the 49ers had a restructure, if you will, of his contract. Now he's only 1 year remaining on his contract before he becomes a free agency. We don't know if we're going to extend him or this is going to be another 1 year rental like Emmanuel Sanders. Now, we hope that we can keep him for another 3 to 5 years down the road. He's 31 years old right now. So if we could get him for another 3 to 5 years, then we could possibly play, he could be with us until he's about 36. And that's still younger than what Staley is now. I think Staley's at 36 or 37, and he just walked away. So, what we did was restructure his contract to actually create a little bit more cap space. But however, Trent Williams did get a little bit more money up front now because he didn't make any money last season. So it kind of worked out for him and the 49ers as well. So Trent Williams, though, will be a 49er for this one season. We don't know if we'll keep him or not. We would like to, but he's gonna want to get paid. If he balls out and has a lights out season, he's gonna want to get paid, point blank. It's plain and simple. Will we be able to do it? That remains to be seen because we were not able to do it, with Emmanuel Sanders. So, we hate for this to be a 1 year rental, but you understand why we were desperate. We needed to get somebody and try to run this back, running it back for the 2020 season to get another shot at the Super Bowl. So that's it for Trent Williams. Moving on, Dee Ford. He had a small procedure on his knee. They said he had a knee cleanup, a pretty good cleanup on his knee that was much needed to be done. Now, we knew about the hamstring injuries this past season in 2019. We knew about, he didn't complain about the back issues. The back issues he got cleaned up last offseason. This offseason now was the knee. In my opinion, he should have got the hamstring, whatever that he needed to do with that, he should have done as well because he had hamstring injuries and he still lingered with a quad injury all season long. Dee Ford is a guy who is eating up a lot of the cap space, and Dee Ford, I think, was on the trading block. Nobody just didn't bite on our trade offers. That's my opinion. There was rumors that anybody from Dee Ford to Jaquiski Tart and Solomon Thomas were up for trade, and I wouldn't be surprised. I wasn't surprised to hear it, and I don't think those were just rumors. So what I'm trying to say though, basically, is this: man, Dee Ford has always got something going on. Something he has to get cleaned up every offseason. This is the reason why Andy Reid traded him to us and went out and signed Frank Clark. And Frank Clark was the guy in the Super Bowl who won. And Dee Ford still didn't get his justice over the Chiefs, as if, hey, this is the comeback game. This is the payback. You let me go. Yes, I was lined over the line of scrimmage in New England against New England in the AFC Championship. But, the Chiefs, it's like they got what they wanted. Like, you screwed us out of being in the Super Bowl last season. And this season they get back and then they go and then they win. Unfortunately, they beat us. So I'm just saying Dee Ford got traded for a reason. But we traded for him. We paid for him. We paid him. And I understand we needed to do it because we doubled down on pass rush. We knew we needed pass rush. So we made the trade for him. And then we doubled down and we still drafted Nick Bosa. But those are the reasons why we are so cash strapped right now in the salary cap space. So he's got another knee cleanup. He got a knee cleanup. I hope the hamstring and the quad is fine. Maybe it didn't require surgery, but I hope he's good because he's always pulling or tearing something or nagging something that's going to nag on through the whole season. And he's going to only play about 8 games. And, I need him to play 16 games or at least 12 games, and, let's be honest. I don't see him playing 10 games. I'm just being honest. I think when he's on the field, him and Ford together are dominant. They are good together, great together. However, man, what I'm about to get to in this next topic is the reason why I think that Dee Ford is really hurting us in the cap space. Him and Quan Alexander with the salaries that they're getting. And my next topic is George Kittle. The reports came out yesterday, and this is the really interesting news out of everything that I've talked about. Okay, George Kittle, his agent came out and said that he is not looking for the top tight end market. He's just looking to do a George Kittle deal. And he's saying that meaning that George Kittle's deal is going to over exceed, whatever the tight end market is. He could care less what the tight end market is. He's not trying to set a new high, for tight ends. He's almost talking like he wants his agent, George Kittle, to get wide receiver type money, Julio Jones type money. That's the way I took it. That's the way I read the article. And that's saying something because George Kittle, who is supposed to be the number one priority this offseason in getting signed, has not been signed yet. And that is very hard to do. If anybody wonders why it hasn't got done, you have to release people to do that. And they didn't release any other players that we thought they would release by April 1. They didn't do it. I don't know if there's anybody that could be released tomorrow on June 1. But people like McKinnon and Tevin Coleman, all those guys got paid guaranteed after April 1. So there's nobody to release unless you trade people away to free up cap space. And I don't see it happening. So this is the problem. George Kittle is going to get whatever he deserves and whatever he asks for. The problem is I am beginning to worry that it may not be us that's going to give it to him. And that's going to be a problem. When you start asking for money like this, and I'm not saying Kittle doesn't deserve it. Kittle is playing like the best tight end I've probably ever seen in my life overall because of his blocking abilities and his catching abilities and route running and things like that. Good hands and being clutch in key situations of the game. He is already showing me that he's better than Antonio Gates in his prime, Shannon Sharp, Tony Gonzalez, Gronk. Yes, I said it. That's what I'm seeing because overall, he is that good. So I say all of that to say this. He will get paid, but will he get paid by the 49ers? That is going to be the $1 million question because when you ask for money like that, you can get traded away like Buckner did. When we found out that Buckner was traded because he wanted Aaron Donald money. Now, we didn't hear a lot of stuff going on with the negotiations, but we know that it didn't work out. They couldn't pay him what he wanted, and he had to go somewhere else to get it, and they shipped him to Indianapolis. He's a Colt now, okay? When you ask for money like this and a team can't give it to you, this is how you get traded away. They may end up doing the same thing, and I hate to say this, but Kittle could get shipped off for a number 1 pick, for a first-round pick again, just like they did with Buckner, sending him to the Colts. And they'll take that first-round pick, and they'll pick a tight end to replace him or another position that's needed. And it'll probably be corner, next year, which is still needed. But whatever it is, they're going to take that pick and do something else with it. Now, this explains why they were trying to trade for people like Evan Ingram, from the New York Giants. There was rumors about O.J. Howard in Tampa Bay. And we went hard at Austin Hooper when he was a free agent before he signed with Cleveland. And he got paid. I don't know if he set the new tight end market going to Cleveland, but he got paid fairly good, I believe. And Austin Hooper is a guy that we were thinking at the time, why are we looking at Hooper? Maybe they just want 2 good tight ends. We just lost a few guys. Selleck may not be coming back. The Logan Paulson dude never worked out. Maybe they just want a secure second tight end, but I don't think that was the case. It's looking like now they know they can't pay Kittle what he deserves and what he's going to demand. So we are about to be in another dilly of a pickle. That's what I'm trying to say to you 49er fans out here. I hate to say it, but realistically, if Kittle doesn't get paid by us, he will get paid by someone. And we're going to ship him away and trade him if, to get something out of this, if we can't pay him. And I just don't see where the cap space will come to make him the highest paid tight end ever. Not saying that we shouldn't do that because he deserves it, but if you're not going to come to us and say, I want to stay, what can I do? What team friendly deal can I give you? Like Eric Armstead did, like Jimmy Ward did, then you're probably not going to continue to be a 49er until some of these players that are eating up our cap space are gone. Richard Sherman still eating up cap space for another year with about another 9 to 12 million that he's getting this year. You got Jimmy Garoppolo, of course, eating up. Quan Alexander and Dee Ford are really eating that cap space up. And, of course, we re-signed Armstead and Jimmy Ward. And Jimmy Ward's contract is not bad, but I'm just saying, guys, ladies and gentlemen, Kittle is trying to break the bank. And I don't see us being able to back up that Brinks truck. That's all I'm saying. I hope we can. I hope we figure out a way. Now, the cap space will go up next season. But the plan was for us to sign him this offseason, because if we wait until next season to try to sign him, he's going to be a free agent. He's a 5th round pick, so I don't think that there's a 5th year option to be placed on him. If that was the case, we would have done it already. Yeah, well, because there was a deadline already to do that. So basically, next year, this season is his 4th season and his last season as a 49er. He will be a free agent after the 2020 season, and we will be trying to figure out a way to hurry up and sign him before he becomes a free agent. Or we may be trading him before free agency, just like we did Buckner. Around this time next year or next March, next spring. So interesting news, man. The agent has never had a player this big, this huge as Kittle, but he's trying to break the bank. He's trying to get paid, and he's going to get it. He's going to get it. I'm just afraid he's not going to get it from us. So that's it. Trent Williams got a little bit more money up front in the restructure of his contract. They're trying to figure out ways to create some cap space. The Niners did that a little bit. Again, everything that they're doing is probably to make moves to pay Kittle. Second, I told you about Dee Ford. He had a knee cleanup, a knee procedure. Hopefully he'll be fine. Good to go. We hope. And then there's Kittle's agent talking about money. And he's not thinking about tight end market money. He's talking about just breaking the bank. He wants wide receiver money. He blocks, he catches, he does it all. Can we give it to him? It'll be interesting to see. You've been listening to another episode of the 4-9 Show with your boy K.O.D.S. Tune in for more. Hit the notification bell, like, comment, subscribe, and check out the Great Debate Show as well. That's my new podcast that you can find on Spotify. Just type in the Great Debate Show on Spotify. I'll be back with the 4-9 Show as soon as more news breaks. Thank you for listening. And as always, red and gold till I'm dead and cold.